Subplots of this fixture tonight. Inter looking to make it 2 wins from 2. Roma looking for their first win of the season, and Pereira making his Inter debut. So here we go, Roma to get us underway. A team that really struggled away from home last season in their indifferent campaign, just 6 wins away from the Olympic Stadium, and that's the first of those tasty challenges we were predicting. Tony Dorigo watching this one with me. It's all set up.
It most certainly is, and I think what is ever so important for both of these sides is really to put on a good show and try and show that they can challenge Juventus over the course of a season. These two sides certainly are fancied to do exactly that, but what they won't want to do is lose to each other right at the start of the campaign.
Here's Totti. He wasn't caught by Guarin. He thought he was. Inter, who finished 2 points ahead of Roma last season to grab the last European spot. Roma have now finished 7th and 6th in the last 2 seasons, certainly looking for an improvement on that in this campaign. Zanetti. We've seen plenty of these fixtures down the years. Guarin almost getting through. Totti takes over once more. Zanetti to his left. Florenzi on his full debut. De Rossi, long way out, and a long way off target.
It certainly was, but at least they kept the ball quite well. It's very interesting to see how Roma develop over the course of the season, because clearly they had a new manager in Luis Enrique last season. Now yet another one in Zeman, and the philosophies are pretty different. But I think what they both want is to let De Rossi try and hit the target from that sort of distance.
Estelazzi continuing in the Inter goal. Handanovic still not fit enough to make his debut. Florenzi. Osvaldo's cross. Still alive here for Roma. To the visitors. First touch for Destro. Eagerly anticipated debut.
Most certainly, very exciting young player. And Roma are delighted to have captured him, and it's a really strong front three they've got.
Pereira on his Inter debut. Over 15.5 million euros from Porto. There's been a reshaping of both these squads over the summer.
No, there has, and I think it's just who can settle first really and get that understanding of what the coaches are after. But it certainly isn't easy, and especially if you look at Roma's defence, I mean, it's always very important to build from the back and keep it nice and solid. Of course, Roma now are playing 3 new players there, so that's going to be difficult for them to get that understanding. Hopefully they can do that very quickly, but of course with the way Zeman likes to play, it is all about attacking play, and that will make it that much more harder.
Here's Milito. Snyder leaves it. Guarin went for the chip over the top, blocked by Castan. And this is Destro. Nagatomo for company, looked to pull the shirt initially. That's actually gone Inter's way.
I'd love to see actually how many times each other pulled each other's shirt there. That's just absolutely ridiculous. Saw last night in Milan 1 or 2 penalties given for that. Pazzini was the beneficiary on that occasion. Just got to be careful, certainly inside the box, but that occasion it went Inter's way.
Gargano finds his fellow countryman Pereira. He can't find Milito though. Upfield from De Rossi. Cassano. Is there a script written for him against his former club tonight? Well, the referee says play on. Pereira's cross under pressure, and it's too deep. Kept in by Balzaretti. Florenzi. Gets it back from Totti. There's a bit of space here for Roma too. And he's picked out Destro. Needed dealing with by Ranocchia.
It certainly did. It was an excellent flying move, wasn't it, from Roma? And you can see already the Zeman philosophy. Once you get that ball, it really was put forward very quickly. Everyone willing to run forward. And from defence, they put it into attack. And unfortunately, Destro couldn't quite find that quality to get that ball in the box.
You shouldn't be surprised, really, with the Czech Republic coach. You were telling me earlier on when you played for Torino, a couple of your teammates had played under him, had some interesting stories.
They most certainly did, and that's one place wherever Zeman was managing I wasn't going to, because I'll tell you what, they did some running, and his teams are always extremely fit. And we used to think, certainly in England, some of our pre-seasons were crazy, but I tell you what, under this man here, he will make sure that all his players are very fit indeed.
Fouled by Destro. Nagatomo. An interesting duel, that one tonight.
It is, and Nagatomo, of course, from Cesena in the last season. Good player, you have to make sure he covers well. Already you can see the space. It's surprising out on the pitch. There is plenty of space to be played into, and if you can get it forward nice and quick, you really can attack the opposition. And it's interesting, Serie A these days, I mean, we talk about the great Italian defences, but I'll tell you what, I think it's a changing, simple as that. And maybe Zeman, finally, his tactics might be just about right for this era.
Destro once more, so plenty of early touches. Osvaldo. Totti square, he might go alone. That was the end result.
Well, it was, but I think we'll forgive him that because we know he can score. What a fantastic goal he scored last week. Clearly full of confidence, and why not? What you want your striker to do once he sees the side of the target, try and hit it. Unfortunately there, couldn't quite manage it.
He scored last week, adding to the 11 he got in 26 games last season. And a team that was often struggling. De Rossi with Zanetti. Still making challenges at the ripe old age of 39. Zanetti.
I don't know how he does it. It's just absolutely incredible. What a servant he's been to the club. He is a top-class player, but there, slightly outfoxed there from De Rossi.
Appearance number 802 for Inter tonight. He's actually 3 years older than his manager.
It's just incredible. And I think certainly of the era of the players that can last longer and longer in Italy, the way they really do look after their players, whether it be physically, mentally, off the pitch, is so important. And clearly he lives the right way, and he's been absolutely tremendous.
So much only was saying this week that he actually spoke to him about resting him in the Europa League qualifier on Thursday. Zanetti was having none of it and played, and Stramaccioni called him quite simply the bionic man. Bright start from Roma though.
It has been, and they're not intimidated at all. Way to Inter. Clearly it's a very important game. You think, right, we'll keep it nice and tight initially, but having none of it, being nice and positive. I think Zeman's interesting because he doesn't like, clearly, the ball going from side to side. He does think in lines up and down the pitch. And that's exactly the way they're playing. If they can get it forward, they will, with quality and pace.
Alzaretti. Capture from Palermo in the summer. De Rossi. Good challenge by Pereira. Now Sneijder. Milito to his left, looking for Cassano instead, and found him, but in long way out. Went by Castan. Pereira into corner.
That was better possession, wasn't it, from Inter? And Pereira, you know, down that left-hand side, he really is a good physical athlete to get up and down. And already we've seen him tear forward, a couple of crosses that occasion, wins inside a corner.
Inter's first of the game. Can they threaten from this set play? Which is going to be delivered by Sneijder. Silvestra's in there, Ranocchia too, but it's gone short to Cassano. Blocked by De Rossi. Zanetti goes all the way back to Castellazzi. Sent off here in the Europa League qualifier in the week. It's still negotiated through 4-2 on aggregate and into Group H of that particular competition. Snyder. Deeper from Pereira.
Disappointing again, wasn't it, from Pereira? He's already done a couple of those that went high, wide and not very handsome. And there, Balzaretti, new left back for Roma. I was impressed with him as well in Euro 2012. I thought he played particularly well. Unfortunate then to be left out, but very good player. Likes to get forward at will. And clearly he'll fit in quite well to the Roma's new system.
Gargano looking for Melito, who won it in the air. Balzaretti away. Lovely touch from Totti. It's a nicely weighted ball to Osvaldo. Important interception from Ranocchia. It's blocked and straight into the path of Destro. Osvaldo. And Zanetti reading the situation to clear for Inter. Roma certainly started on the front foot. To see this. Balzaretti on the overlap. Wanted the return, it didn't reach him. As I say, 27 yellow cards in the last 6 league meetings between these two. Roma haven't actually beaten Inter in the league here since April 2007. Get a point with a 0-0 draw last season. Different philosophy, I think, under their new coach. In from De Rossi. By Silvestre. Totti. Florenzi. Osvaldo, and gathered eventually by Castellazzi.
Well, Silvestre there just about did enough, didn't he? That was dangerous, but the spaces are really out there. I'm still surprised there are so many spaces there for Roma to get the ball down and play and comfortably then turn. If you do give players like, as you say, Osvaldo and certainly Totti space and time, they're going to make you pay at some point. So at the moment, I submit the Romans looking impressive in there. Just about Silvestre gets away with that one.
Parada. Cassano. Teasing Pires. Now can Pereira deliver a better ball this time? It was an inviting one. Stekelenburg got a faint touch to it.
I think he probably had to, wasn't sure what was behind him, but Pereira's getting them slightly lower. That was a little better. I think the next one could be spot on. Here we see it again. Good left foot. It's a good area to put it into. Unfortunately, just a little high. Stekelenburg not really sure what is behind him. Better get a touch, better safe than sorry. But this is always going to be important as well for Osvaldo as a front man to hold it up nice and tight. Really draw fouls when you can as well.
De Rossi. It'll still come through to Totti. What a good ball, free header. 1-0 Roma. And what a moment for Florenzi. On his full debut, it's a dream start. Inside quarter of an hour, Roma in front, and Alessandro Florenzi marks his first start with a goal.
And what a well taken header that was, but you give Totti time and space, and he will make you pay. What a fantastic ball it was, but what a midfield run as well. Still plenty to do. Once you get onto his right boot, he picks the run out. Still plenty to do because it's slightly behind him as well, but he steers it into that far corner. Castellazzi was guarding his near post, couldn't get there to the far post. That's some debut, isn't it? Go away to Inter Milan and you stick it in the back of the net, and no more than Roma deserve, because I thought so far for the first 15 minutes been very impressive. They've been positive, they really have found that space, and Florenzi is the man to put them 1-0 up.
This time last season he was on loan in Serie B with Crotone. One substitute appearance for Roma to his name. Inter looking for an immediate response. Milito going through, and Stekelenburg just about timed that to perfection.
We certainly did, and he had to, didn't he? But how often do we see it when a team goes 1-0 up, they just switch off, and immediately from the kick-off they really concede, or nearly concede, an opportunity with Stekelenburg. Excellent save.
Totti with the block. Osvaldo. De Rossi's ball. And Inter again having to scamper back. Nagatomo goes down under the challenge of Destro.
And there was a poor challenge. Nagatomo moved across, got in between the ball and the player, and Destro just went straight through the back of him. I think that's about right.
The first yellow card of the evening. It was never going to go through the 90 minutes without any, and that is why.
Just surprised it was so long, but there, as you can see, Stekelenburg, excellent, wasn't it? Milito didn't quite get the touch. The Dutch keeper had to. It's an excellent run. Balzaretti, no point putting your hand up now. Get back and defend. Keeper did really well.
He did actually get 2 red cards in his debut season last year, the Dutchman. And a couple of irrational moments in that situation. But he got that one absolutely spot on. Nagatomo still getting running repairs. Destro booked on his return to the San Siro, former youth player at Inter. After his 12 goals in Serie A last season for Siena, he was most sought after in the summer. Done nothing more than a win and perhaps even a goal against Inter tonight on his Roma debut. Cassano. Pereira still has it. Neatly done. De Rossi back to help out.
Actually did really well, didn't he, down that left-hand side. And I think Pereira and Nagatomo, that's going to be interesting, because they can really swap around for each other, cover each other when the other one goes forward. Already we've seen from Pereira, does a lot to get forward up that left-hand side.
Crossfield from De Rossi, away by Silvestre. Wanning gave it straight to Balzaretti, who's got it back from Totti. Crossing opportunity. Zanetti's header only as far as Totti. Nice ball from Balzaretti. Osvaldo, the offside flag was up on the far side. Again, it was neatly worked from Roma.
It was, and they're very comfortable in possession. I'm not sure I've ever seen a left fullback keep it up about 10 times. That's just getting ridiculous. That's just showing the confidence because of this goal. Look at it again. It's a wonderful header, great time run, but Inter where in the defence? Now either the centre half has to pick him up and see him coming, or the midfielder must go with the runner. There, neither happened. End up in the back of the net. So at the moment, Inter really have got some work to do, and they haven't really been able to feed Milito or Schneider. And there you see the back four of Roma just about getting away with it again. So last week, of course, a high line really did catch Roma out once or twice. And I'm sure they worked on that in training to get more of an understanding between them all, and so far they've been okay.
And certainly turning a few eyebrows raised when Zeman handed Florenzi his full debut tonight in such a fixture away from home, but at the moment it looks a masterstroke. Here's Pereira. Cassano's made the run. Milito is offside.
Yet again, the back four of Roma actually did very well. You can see Castan lets his man run. A good 2 yards offside. No problems there. I think they're complaining more about Cassano playing on and sticking in the back of the net.
There is the aforementioned 65-year-old who in his first spell with Roma between 97 and 99 led them to 4th and 5th place finishes. Led Pescara, of course, back into Serie A last season. He was fairly critical after the first game last weekend, wasn't he?
He certainly was, and especially to Francesco Totti, saying that he was picking up the wrong position out on the pitch. I told him what I wanted to do and he wasn't doing it, which really is strong words from the coach.
Here's Milito for Inter. It stood his ground, but Inter have a corner. Quickly taken. Driven in by Schneider. Stekelenburg reacted quickly at his near.
Everyone was asleep on that one. And certainly the Roma defenders there, they've taken it again quickly and short.
There's the Dutchman once more. In towards Silvastra. Away in the end. Right, let's see this. Gargano. Long from Pereira. Now Nagatomo. Roma have plenty of bodies back. Cassano tried to feed Nagatomo. Couldn't quite get enough on the cross. So just barged his Roma teammate out of the way. He joined Roma from Inter, the Argentinian. And again, Milito is offside.
Well, let's hope they got this one right again. As you see, Castan, and that's getting closer though, isn't it? But it's the correct decision, but just got to be careful because if he does time that run, he will be in. Here we see Bediso, a lot of experience, but he's the only one with the experience in that back four, really trying to marshal them. So far, so good.
Alzaretti, space for Roma again. Desperate defending that time by Silvastra. Both fullbacks have got forward frequently so far for Roma. Schneider back helping out for Inter. Good challenge by Nagatomo. Osvaldo rode the first challenge. Almost came back to Totti. No quarter given. Referee says play on.
Well, that's better, and that's what I expected at the start of the game. Lots of tackles flying in, not too much space out on the pitch. Well, it's only taken Inter a good 20 minutes to start wiring in with some challenges, and there we see 1, 2, and Ranocchio, I think, from Osvaldo, and Gargano going in as well. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Crunching one between Gargano and Tatsidis.
It was, and in those sort of situations you sometimes see the player go over the top of the ball as well, and you expect something quite nasty to happen. At least there the foot was on the ground. It was a good solid challenge, no problems with that.
Plenty to think about for the former Roma youth coach. His Inter team still trail. Bergonzi is going to start with the drop ball here, which is sportingly played back by Inter. Goal scorer Florenzi. Stopped by Zanetti.
I think what you can see about Florenzi, clearly he's physically gets up and down the pitch extremely well, and of course Zeman, when the ball gets out wide, he demands his midfielders, at least one of them, to get into that box. Maybe that's why the young man has been put into this side. He got his goal that way. There was no hesitation, was there? He was straight into that space, took his goal well, and now he's charging up the left hand side of the pitch as well.
Let me point in the direction of some more live football coming here on ESPN after the international break. Saturday the 15th, St Johnstone against Celtic from the SPL is an 11:45 start, also available in HD. And following that from the Barclays Premier League, Brendan Rodgers still searching for his first Premier League victory as Liverpool manager. They go to Sunderland from 4:30. Still 1-0 Roma in the San Siro, followed by Castan. Arrived for €5 million from Corinthians in the summer.
Yeah, the big Brazilian there, taking no prisoners whatsoever. Trying to go around the side, but
had to scamper back again there. It was the Paraguayan Pires. It's another into corner.
Got to be alive at the back, haven't they? Because Milito is always trying to run off the shoulders of the defenders. And here again, play is put forward quickly. This time just about gets stopped by the Roma defenders.
Short from Snyder to Pereira. Full delivery, well defended by De Rossi. Pereira's won it back. Angled it across. Tashidis kept his cool inside the Roma penalty area. That looks a good ball. Osvaldo and Destro waiting. Florenzi can make anything of it. He's gone down. De Rossi also on the floor.
I think De Rossi was on the floor from a very good tackle down the other end, but here you see the arm. And of course, any good Italian player knows as soon as you get your hand placed on your body, you're going down. But this is where De Rossi went down from Pereira, who really is having a fine half down that left-hand side. Got plenty of crosses in. It's a good challenge as well.
It was the other former Porto man, Guarin, who caught Florenzi. De Rossi's back on his feet. And Roma have the opportunity from the resulting free kick. Bediso is forward. Tashidis is in there as well. Well defended by Inter. Flick from Totti. Florenzi. Time for Pereira. Now Milito. Cassano. Roma push up once more. No flag this time. Snyder. He's got it back from Cassano. Can he get it across? Came off the head of Pires. Another into corner.
It was, but it's dangerous defending from Roma. Again, they're trying to play that high line. You can tell they're holding themselves, but Tatsidis, someone need to tell him that you're trying to play that high line. He was clearly 5-10 yards back behind his back four.
Snyder short again. Return ball from Cassano. Excellent delivery. Well, Milito felt he was impeded. The officials didn't.
Well, I think it was Balzaretti, actually. Like any good fullback, he's getting in there, make sure the striker doesn't have a free header. And there you see right hand side just about gets there. Off. It's awkward. Milito, it's a good chance and a great ball in from Snyder. What a wonderful ball outside of the right boot. Too much on it he got. Balzaretti just did enough.
So 1-0 here and 1-0 elsewhere in Serie A. Catania trailing to a Cuca goal for Genoa, his first since October. So Genoa have the lead at Catania. Here's Osvaldo. Weave his way through, then went down dramatically. rightly, Mauro Bergonzi, the referee, wasn't interested. Forward from Guarin. Cassano turning Badiso. The former Inter defender getting back with the challenge.
No, he did well, but again the spaces are there. It's a long diagonal pass, and Cassano there finally got on the ball, but De Rossi's gone down. Looking at the bench and wanting a change, clearly. There's something wrong there. That'll be a big blow because he's so experienced, and I know lots of clubs have been coveting him, trying to get him before the transfer window, but he's nailed his colours to the Roma mast. He's staying put. Oh, I just love watching this guy play. I really do.
You wouldn't like to manage him?
Well, no, not at all. Not at all. No hiding his emotions. Not sure exactly what he get. As he's getting older and maturing, he certainly is getting better, I think. But there's still a side to him that you're not quite sure.
Well, we understand that De Rossi can't continue because of this, Tony, the way he landed.
Well, I think he was going through, wasn't he, with his right boot, full-blooded challenge. He wasn't pulling out, and Pereira was exactly the same, but clearly he came off worse.
Well, they're just double-checking, as you would, to see if there was any way that De Rossi could continue, but there isn't. So Marquinhos, the Brazilian who, after a loan spell last season, they signed permanently from Fluminense in the summer, he's going to come on and replace him. Certainly a talent, but De Rossi's influence is not now there for Roma.
I'm sure he's disappointed because it is so important. He really does hold everything together there. Great experience. Unfortunately, he only lasted half an hour.
Nagatomo. Well, there's no flag this time. Oh, it went up late on Cassano. He thought he was onside.
Well, clearly they're playing a dangerous game, but again, it's a good yard or two off. And at the moment, that understanding is there.
There's a yellow card brandished for Guarin. For this.
And here you see why Totti's certainly theatrics after the ball, but it was a late challenge. Getting nowhere near it. Gets himself a yellow card. I think that's probably just a bit of frustration as well, because they're finding themselves 1-0 down. Roma certainly aren't making it easy for them. I'm sure if he looks back, we'll realise that he was offside.
Well, Belfodil has scored for Parma. They lead Chievo by 1-0. His first goal in Serie A, so they have their noses in front. As do Genoa at Catania, as do Roma here in the San Siro. Courtesy of a full debut goal from Alessandro Florenzi. Here's Destro. And a foul on Pereira eventually.
Yes, it was a foul, but the fall afterwards didn't need to be. But some wonderful, good footwork from Destro. He really is a talented lad. He skipped through 2 or 3 challenges, just put the arm out, but Pereira straight down.
Gargano. Pereira, single for the ball on his debut. He's going to go for goal from distance. Blocked by Badiso, picked up by Cassano. That hit Marquinhos. Huge appeals from Cassano for handball.
Well, he's remonstrating with the referee. The referee's having absolutely none of it.
And the game is actually still going on while Inter players around the official. Here's Zanetti. In from Guarin. Header initially was from Pereira. Clearance from Florenzi. Better spell from Inter.
It certainly is, but Pereira's on the left, he's at the back, he's absolutely everywhere. And there you see the ball, it's hit him in the chest. Not a problem, just play on. But I think the pressure certainly is building on the referee, and you've just got to be careful now, Roma.
Another long-range effort, comfortable one for Stekelenburg. This time from Gargano. Imagine Cassano's appeal if it really did hit him on the arm. Talking about conserving his energy as well to play as many games as possible. He's using plenty of it in those appeals.
He is, but let's not forget as well the make weight in the deal. Pazzini scored 3 last night, so there's no doubt he's feeling under pressure there as well.
Melito. Aforementioned Cassano. Can't get that one right. Stefanenberg just about did. Conceded 40 goals in his 29 games in his first season in Italy, the big Dutchman. Signed by Luis Enrique. But he has his clean sheet intact so far tonight. That's a nice ball from Totti. Florenzi.
Unfortunate. Not sure what he's complaining about there, but again, just the Roma get the ball forward very quickly. They get it into midfield, spaces are there, and willing runners left and right. But it's too easy to get out for Roma at the moment. I expect Inter, they're playing at home, to be nice and tight and then snapping away, but Roma really are finding themselves comfortable possession in the middle of the pitch on the ball.
No foul on Marquinhos, feet by Guarin. Magano. Long from Snyder this time. Treviso was always the favourite. Too strong for Melito. He pulls the idea from Snyder.
That combination is the one, isn't it, for Inter? I think that they're looking to unlock this Roma defence. Snyder, he's got an eye for Melito, those diagonal runs, and really Castan and Bediso at the moment have kept them quiet.
Guarin, he got the last minute goal in the Europa League tie here on Thursday. Snyder. Ferreira. The patient build-up from Inter. Magano has picked out Nagatomo. Melito and Cassano waiting. Nagatomo goes for goal and cannot find the target.
It's a great run, it really is, and just got to hit the target though. He's coming on his favoured right boot. But again, Pereira stays back. Nagatomo goes forward this time, comes inside, hit the target, and also you can see Cassano coming in there. Even if it comes off the goalkeeper, goes back into your striker's path, but not on this occasion.
Foul on Osvaldo. Conversation is still continuing between he and Silvestre. Marquinhos. Tashidis. With that forward towards Totti. De Rossi watching on. Another goal to tell you about elsewhere in Serie A. Lazio, Roma's great rivals, are a goal up at home to Palermo. Familiar name of Miroslav Klose on the goal scoring sheet. Here's Melito trying to equalise for Inter. Good block by Bediso.
It was, and there's that run again, isn't it? In between, though. Again, alive and alert, but they're looking more dangerous.
Melito once more. Totti for Roma. Misplaced pass from him. Pereira. Over 5 minutes to half-time in the San Siro. Into pressing for that equaliser. Cassano. Zanetti to his right.
It was a great challenge, yes it was, and you're right, Balzaretti there really was well. And I just saying the Inter really attacks have been slightly lopsided, haven't they? Pereira on the left-hand side really has been getting a lot of the ball. On this occasion, Zanetti got forward really well. It was a timely interception, and there you see again Milito trying to get in between the two centre-halves.
Snyder's header. Harmless one eventually. He managed 4 goals last season. He was of course on the score sheet in that 3-0 victory at Pescara in the opening weekend. Right. Ranocchia. Snyder switching play. Nice take from Cassano. Loose pass from Zanetti, but he got away with it. Gargano retrieves the situation. Just feel a little unrest in the home supporters around the stadium.
Well, it's not going their way at all, is it? Roma come here full of confidence, playing well and knocking it around. Home fans are finding their team 1-0 down, and yes, they've got forward into some decent areas on the left-hand side, but how many saves has the goalkeeper actually had to make? Stekelenburg really has been quite comfortable. They'll be delighted, I think. Zeman and his team, they're getting forward well. Still seem to have plenty of energy there. The spaces seem to be there for them to play in as well. I just wonder if he thinks Totti has taken up the right positions this time. We'll see.
And the whole team got it as well. He called their movement pointless passing last week against Catania. Surely he'll be more impressed with this first half showing. It's a foul on Cassano. Castan, the offender. The former Roma striker has stayed down.
Castan, he's already done this once or twice, hasn't he? A little bit late through the back, and there again. You just know that Cassano will make the most of it. 118 appearances in Serie A for Roma before he left for Real Madrid. He'll have a goal tonight. Inter wouldn't worry who scored it at the moment if they could draw level before the break. Free kick opportunity here. Certainly no shortage of contenders to take this. He'll change his half-time team talk if it flew in. Snyder. It's fairly comfortable for Stekelenburg. It certainly was. It was a long way out, but it was a good strike to make sure he held his position. But I think 30 yards out, you'd always fancy the goalkeeper. You see it again. It's a long way out. I tried to bend it rather than hit it straight through the ball, but Stekelenburg got his whole body behind that.
Another goal to tell you about as we approach half-time. Sampdoria leads Siena by a goal to nil. Maxi Lopez with his first for the club. He's given them the advantage. Still 1-0 Roma here. Final minute of normal time at the end of the first half. Balzaretti. Destro. Neatly worked again, Marquinhos.
They're confident, aren't they? They really are knocking it around well on the edge of the box. And I think for Inter, it's certainly concerning. They're not really gaining any sort of control in that middle of the park. I mean, Roma really are quite comfortably playing around. They need to try, certainly, Inter to get it to Schneider a little bit more. The front three we know can do damage, but not if they haven't got the ball.
Here's Destro trying to get in between the two defenders. Silvestre got back for Inter, just in the nick of time. Nice piece of skill from Guarin.
Well, that was nice. Now, don't lose it. Lucky boy. He got away with it. A wonderful piece of skill. The Inter fans absolutely love that. Flicking his way past 2 or 3 players. But you just saw how Roma are eager to win that ball back as soon as they can.
Snyder. Cassano got goal side. Trying to wriggle away. Cassano deflected! And in! Inside stoppage time at the end of the first half. The former Roma man, with the help of a big deflection, equalises for Inter. What timing! 1-1 at the San Siro.
And Schneider, it was a lovely ball, wasn't it, to Cassano, but it travelled a long way. And we've seen before the Roma defence hold its line, and said this time they didn't. And it was Castan then that got back. Initially I thought he was going to make a challenge here and actually give away a penalty. Instead Cassano just goes for the hit. Clearly it's a very fortunate deflection. Mr. Kellenberg, all he can do is see a loop over himself. In off the post. I'm not quite sure Inter deserve it, but Stramaccioni, I think, we're absolutely delighted. His half-time team talk, you're right, so you know what? I think we've got away with that first 45.
And just to add another twist to the tale, it was the former Inter defender, Nicolas Bediso, who got that huge deflection. 1-1 inside stoppage time. You can see what it meant to him. Particularly fired up in his home league debut for Inter against one of his former clubs. Back all square. Bediso had a long, hard look at the referee's assistant there and breathed a huge sigh of relief.
More in hope that was, wasn't it? They've got to be careful because this high line, and again, when someone has possession of the ball and there's not enough pressure on him, you've got to go with your runners.
Well, it certainly wasn't without incident. The first 45 minutes, it's all square at the end of it. Alessandro Florenzi gave Roma the lead, and then this goal from Cassano with a huge deflection off Bediso means that we are all square at the San Siro at the break, and it was a break for Inter after they'd struggled for large parts of the first half. But you just knew that Cassano somewhere along the line would have a part to play. We'll have the thoughts of Carlo Cudicini and Gabriel Marcotti when we come back. The half-time scoreline is Inter 1, Roma 1.
Free-flowing football versus direct. Discipline v entertaining. Youth versus experience. What a finish! Two very different styles collide at the Stadium of Light. Rodgers might pander to the purists, but O'Neill has a knack of upsetting the odds.
Would you believe that? And he's up to his old tricks again. Sunderland score a vital goal. Simply amazing.
Sunderland-Liverpool, Saturday the 15th of September, live only on ESPN.
Get your mobiles and laptops out. It's in play time. In the next 5 seconds, the latest live odds will appear on your screen. There you go. Have a bang on that. Join Bet365 now for more great odds and loads of live streaming. So, let's get on it, boys. Go. Bet365.com. Bet in play now.
On a normal day, I'm at my desk. This wasn't a normal day. Before I knew it, I was flying to Beirut. We had to get British nationals out of the Lebanon. I had to find out who everyone was and get them to safety. It's not your everyday office job.
Search online now for